Who are we voting for? Meet the candidates. Who Are We Voting For was created so we could understand who the candidates are and what they are about. This is not an endorsement for any candidate. This is for the voter to be more educated about who we're voting for.
Hi, my name is Gene Walker. I am a nonprofit leader here in Pittsburgh, as well as a Pittsburgh Public School Board Director representing District 9, which is the North Side, Upper North Side, and West End. I'm a Pittsburgh kid, born and raised in East Liberty, in and around East Liberty, graduated from Peabody High School in the mid-90s, went off to college in Northeastern PA to study business and accounting, and then returned to Pittsburgh in 2009 with my wife and 2 kids to spend about 9 years working in education with the Pittsburgh Promise. My wife and I and our kids now live in Brighton Heights. Both of my kids graduated from Pittsburgh Public Schools and are currently working in and around the city, and with my son actually looking to go back to school to be a teacher soon. So we are avid weightlifters. I'm an avid golfer. We have a house full of animals, 2 dogs, 5 cats, a spotted gecko, and 2 fish. So we just like to hang out, enjoy each other, and enjoy Pittsburgh. In my spare time, well, obviously I'm working full time. I work with adults doing IT check training for a nonprofit, a national nonprofit that's been in Pittsburgh for 4 years. I've done various different nonprofit jobs over the last 16 years since I've been back in Pittsburgh, and happy to know that my whole family is here. So brother, 2 sisters. My mom still lives in Garfield, so I get to see them often, and just excited for the future of Pittsburgh. Yeah, I believe I have a number of skills that qualify me to run for school board representing District 9 here in Pittsburgh Public Schools. First and foremost, I've been on the board now for a little over 3 years, representing both the Brighton Heights, Observatory Hill, and West End communities. Along that way, I've been elected as school board president in 2024 and 2025, which represents a significant investment in trust from my board colleagues to both lead the board and lead the agenda. In addition to my nonprofit leadership, I have a business background, business, sales, marketing, finance, and so I believe that I am well-rounded enough to be able to handle the challenges and the different issues that come up with Pittsburgh Public Schools, including, but not limited to, the budgets that we deal with each and every year, the different policies, and understanding how to move and work through those for the benefit of our students. And I also have a great relationship with the superintendent and his cabinet, and so that work, combined with my professional experience, I believe gives me a leg up against most people, especially those that might be running around in District 9 looking to be school board. Ultimately, I have an extreme focus on student outcomes. I believe that Pittsburgh Public Schools has the opportunity to be great, and not just for the students that we're going to succeed already, but great for all kids, especially our Black and brown kids on the North Side and the West End, who are often left out and left behind as schools are changing and decisions are made. So I believe my level-headed nature, my ability to not get too high or too low, even in the midst of criticism and people coming after me, puts me in a really great position to represent District 9, not just now, but in the future. So I'm running for school board director for Pittsburgh Public Schools District 9 for several reasons. One, I believe that Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh Public Schools is at a critical moment with our schools, and really tough and important decisions have to be made. And the school district and the city and our kids need leaders who are convicted in the knowledge that school can be better, that school is right now not performing well for most of our kids, and that things need to be different than they have been in the past. And so with my ability to both communicate with the superintendent, but also communicate with the public, I feel like I'm in the best position to continue to represent this district as we continue to move Pittsburgh Public Schools forward. During my time on the board, I've led a couple of really important initiatives. We've been able to hire Dr. Walters as our superintendent, which I believe was a very important move for the district. We've taken some really bold steps in transforming how our board governs the school district and works with the superintendent, really defining the difference between our role as school board directors and the superintendent's role, so that ultimately we can let the educational professionals do the work of education while we work to ensure that the policies are there and in place to ensure that kids have what they need. The final thing that we really need to do, and why I believe I'm the best person to do this today, is that our school district is not equipped to handle the amount of school buildings and the footprint that we have. And so dramatic changes have to be made, in my opinion, that will give us the opportunity to provide the high quality education for our kids that we believe they deserve. To do that, we're going to have to continue the path that we've been walking for the last 15 months and ensure that the next board, when it's elected in December, is ready and poised to move that work forward for the benefit of all of our kids. So we know that the Pittsburgh of today is not the Pittsburgh of 30, 40, 50 years ago. Dramatic changes have happened, even from the time that I was at Peabody High School in the mid-90s. Tell you a story. In 2009, when I came back to Pittsburgh Public Schools had about 26,000 students, and we were running just about 62, 63 schools. Since that time, just 15 years later, the district has already shrunk down to about 19,000 students, and we're still maintaining 54 school buildings. To put that into a little bit of perspective, the next largest brick and mortar school district in the state has about 16,000 students and manages to educate those kids in 20 buildings. So there's a vast difference between what we're trying to do here in Pittsburgh and what others are trying to do. And I think it's really time for us to think really hard about how we do education, how many buildings we're running. Although facilities aren't the most important thing, they do cost us a lot of money. And so to have less, to bring our resources a little bit closer, to give our teachers the time and space and the resources in their buildings to actually do their job well, I think will benefit our kids. One thing that I know for sure is that if we can't do the basics really well for Pittsburgh Public Schools, all of the other bells and whistles won't really matter much for our kids. So if they don't graduate being able to read and write and do science and talk about themselves and market themselves and be ready for the next step, it doesn't matter how many AP courses, how many athletic trophies, how many sports teams, how many extracurriculars we have for our kids, because ultimately we've failed them. And as a school board director currently, as a parent, as a husband, as a father, who I hope to retire here in Pittsburgh, I understand that today's generation are the ones that are going to be taking care of me in 20 years. And it's my job and responsibility to make sure that they have the best opportunity to succeed. And to do that, we need to wholesale change how we're doing education currently. And so that means trusting the superintendent and his administration to do the work that they're trained to do by really getting out of the way and making sure that they have the resources necessary. But secondly, we just have to be honest. No one's going to send their kids to Pittsburgh Public Schools if they don't believe we're going to be able to educate them. And our job is to educate kids. And so by taking the steps that we're taking now, and I hope to continue over the next few years, we'll put ourselves in a position to not just do the basics well, but make the extra stuff really meaningful for the people that live here and those that will consider coming back. There are a couple of really important reasons why I think folks in District 9 of Pittsburgh Public Schools should vote for me for re-election this year. The first is that you have to believe that leadership matters. And I've shown over the last 3+ years that not only am I able to lead in my district, but I'm able to lead the board as a whole to make wholesale changes to the way that we do business for the betterment of our kids. The second reason is you want someone who's selfless, someone who's not in it for themselves, not in it necessarily to gain votes, but really in it for kids. And that's been my whole career. I've given my career over the last 15 to 16 years to service of others, to improve the lives of the people that I work with. And that continues with my time on school board. Every decision that I make, every press conference that I have, every statement that I make has kids at the center. Their outcomes, their success, their ability to be better than what they can even see for themselves today. And so why vote for Gene Walker? Well, one, because I bring stability to a board that has often been in flux. I bring a level-headed and even-keeled temperament that means I can work with anyone, I can take the hits, and be committed to the ideas and decisions that I think are really important. And third and most important, is that we're at a time now where we can't stop. We can't stop making progress. We can't stop moving forward. We can't afford to postpone the decisions that we know have to be made in order to make this district regain its pride, its accomplishments. And so now is the time to move forward. I'm the candidate to move forward, and I hope that on May 20th you will, if you live in District 9, you'll vote for Gene Walker for re-election.